السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. كما وعدنا, we're going to continue with the مصطلحات of Minhaj, and we started with a brief introduction last week, or maybe not last week, but a few days ago, when it came to the mustalah known as al-asah al-mansus. And we give a little introduction on it, things that great imams such as al-Qalyubi stated about it. And I said we're going to go over every single reference that has al-asah al-mansus in al-Minhaj, inshaAllah ta'ala. So we're going to go ahead and start with the very first one, and that one's in Kitab al-Tahara, Bab al-Tayammum. It should be the fasl that's in Tayammum, where he says, وَمَسْحُ وَجْهِهِ وَيَدَيْهِ بِضَرْبَتَيْنِ. Imam Nawawi then adds in here, and he says, قُلْتُ الْأَصَحُ الْمَنْصُوص وُجُوبُ ضَرْبَتَيْنِ. So here's the first location where Al-Imam Al-Nawawi utilizes this mustalah known as Al-Asah Al-Mansus. Why did he say Al-Asah Al-Mansus? The khilaf in this issue is a little bit unique. It's different from the ones to come, but it's important nevertheless. In this one, the khilaf is not necessarily in the amount of darabat al-tayammum, but rather in the existence of khilaf from Imam al-Shafi'i himself on the quantity of darabat al-tayammum. How many times you hit the ground. The mu'tamad and the clearly stated statements of Imam al-Shafi'i in al-Umm and in al-Muzani is darbatayn. However, Abu Thawr, he attributes to Imam al-Shafi'i one darba, hitting the ground once. The khilaf here, the awjuh here, are in between accepting what Abu Thawr is saying and rejecting. Those that rejected it, they simply said, النص ضربتين. And that was it. Those that accepted it, those that rejected it, said النص. Those that accepted it said, there's a nas and there's a qawl. And because the khilaf and the arguments between those that accepted and those that rejected what Abu Thawr said was so intense, we can't even call this tariqatin. We can't. Because it's not upon the details of something, it's upon the acceptance of something in its entirety. Imam Nawawi argues, Abu Thawr is a great imam. He knows what he's saying, and therefore we should accept that such opinion existed. But again, Ashab al-Awjuh, they differed on this greatly, and it was attributed, this khilaf was attributed to them in the form of awjuh. In the form of awjuh. Some argued, said, but it's not awjuh in a sense, they're not opinions within the madhab, it's about the existence of an opinion in its entirety. And that's okay, because Al-Imam Nawawi in the introduction, he says that if he mentions a nas, the mustalah al-nas, that means it's muqabil, its opposite opinion, is either a wajh or qawlun mukharrajun da'if. So both al-asah al-mansus together can handle this type of debate and khilaf. So the asah from the opinions, because there are two, darbatain and darba, jameel We're going to accept what Abu Thawr said. That is the mu'tamad, that it did exist. So al-asah, when it comes to accepting and rejecting the existence of this qawl, is that it is darbatayn. And the other opinion does exist. المنصوص الذي نص عليه الإمام الشافعي is what? That it is ضربتين. So الأصح المنصوص ذلك. Now the majority of the ashab, they said الذي نص عليه في وجوب الضربتين. Now there's actually a third wajh in the whole discussion. There's a third wajh, and that is the wajh from a lot of the Khurasanis who said لا يجب الضربتين ولا يشترطان أو لا يشترطان ولكن الواجب إيصال التراب إلى الوجه واليدين. حصلت بضربة حصلت بضربتين. It's not a big issue for them. جميل. That's the majority of the Khurasanis. However, the rest of the Khurasanis and all of the Iraqis, they said الواجب ضربتين لأن الذي نص عليه الشافعي ضربتين. That's what Imam Shafi'i said in his book. It's in it's in al-Muzani, and it's in other sources to Imam al-Shafi'i radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. So, in conclusion, we can argue the following: that some of the ashab said there's no specific quantity of hitting the ground in tayammum. The point is to get the dirt to the hands and the face. Period. Some said, no, it has to be darbatin. And this is what Shafi'i stated. Others said, Imam al-Shafi'i stated that there are two. However, there is a qawl that he said one. So now we have three awjuh. Now, if you're only looking at the darbatain and the statement of the majority of the Khurasanis, here you could argue in khilafun fi hikayat al-madhhab. You could argue for that. However, because the darba opinion of Abu Thawr, this causes a little bit of problems because it's no longer an issue in hikayat al-madhhab. It's a khilaf in the existence of a khilaf in the madhhab to begin with. Now, if he were to word it out as وَالْمَذْهَبُ كَذَا, would it have worked? Yes. However, by pointing out the nas, it would show that this opinion, it is the strongest. If not, it is the madhhab in its entirety. Yani, arguing beyond that, it will be kind of weak. So, by him saying al-asah al-mansus instead of using something like al-madhhab, he's showing us that the khilaf here, Jamil, is the correct opinion, or the more authentic, or the more accurate opinion here, has a nas to support it. That's better than just saying al-madhhab, because you would just think that it was a matter of simple tarjih between ashab al-awjuh, or something of that matter. So this mustalah, was it mentioned in the introduction? Yes. Asah is used for awjuh. Nas is used for Imam al-Shafi'i's statements. Can they both come together at the same time? The answer is yes. So, in light of what we mentioned last time, this kind of puts a little problem with what Imam al-Qalyubi or Shabram al-Lasi were stating. Because they said they could not come together. That this is tanafi, this is problematic. Jameel. Well, with the first one we showed that it is not tanafi. It actually can come together. And inshallah in our next session we'll cover the next one. And we'll go through every single one bi-iznillahi ta'ala.